the battle intensified. Satan just showed up in the room. Personally. And he said, I have thought through everything. I've looked through your records. I cannot trust you with my power because you're not 100% on our side. And tomorrow is the day you're supposed to be given the powers. So I am not going to trust you with my powers. And said, so what is the way forward? He said, the way forward is to get rid of you. And when he said to get rid of me, my heart, I knew I have to run out of that room and go where people are so that he doesn't kill me. And what happened is Satan shut the door. It just banged, boom. I had been ironing. Now I'm trying to be good. I'm ironing my relatives' clothes. And I fell down with a hot iron. I started fighting. Satan is strangling me, and I'm next to a hot iron.
Physically shows.
Physically.
He can manifest himself physically.
Yes.
Like other angels can.
Yes.
Right.
So I fought for some time, but eventually they had me screaming from the bedroom. And they came, try to open, the door is not opening. They try, and then they force it to open. And they find me with a very hot iron. I'm fighting for my life. Satan disappears. So they carry me to the living room. They start praying. It became a family issue. They started praying and praying and praying and praying and praying and praying. I'm struggling for my life. Now, when the struggling stopped, I became so energetic. I started beating all of them. So they said, this is beyond what we thought. So we fought, and because there were many, they had to tie me up and put me on the floor and start praying for me. Even on the floor, I was beating them. So the battle continued. They prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. And they also called some church members, intercessors, everybody to send their prayers. After that, they started hearing voices manifesting through me, yet I'm on the floor. Every artist I was working with, secular artists, talking and saying their mission in my life, and they are casting them out and they go. And some of them would even sing for them.
That's madness.
Yes. And then, if that artist can break dance, I would get up and break dance. That's how bad it was.
In other words, those spirits, the spirits of
manifesting in me,
these occult artists could enter into you and start
possess a person. Yes.
And start controlling your physical body.
Yes. Like I was also doing before I got delivered. I would also enter somebody and control their bodies. Yeah. So,
but they had to be an initiate. They had to be somebody who was not covered. They're not born again. They're not spirit-filled.
Yes. Yeah. So now,
easy victims.
They realize that this is beyond what they have been viewing, the normal deliverance. You know, cast, get out, you know. So now they are seeing strange things. Then, as they are praying for me, a vehicle came with some speakers and it parked in the compound and they started playing secular music. So in the house, they are playing gospel. In the compound, it is secular. So
a car came outside
the house
with speakers.
Yes.
With loudspeakers.
Loudspeakers.
And parked.
Yes.
And started bumping music outside.
Yes, secular music. To give me reinforcement.
Why? The vibes.
Because you see,
so you needed
the atmosphere now was, God had taken charge of the atmosphere because they were playing worship music, and it was scriptures that are being said and they are praying. So now I needed backup. So now the enemy started sending backup. And when they started playing secular music, I also started dancing to secular music. because
in front of all of these people who are praying for you.
yes, I started dancing because now I have been sent reinforcement. I'm being now also empowered, you see. So they said, okay, now what do? We divide the group. Let this group go and pray against the other, because now if we go into the flesh fighting with them, they are going to get through. And then let us concentrate on praying for this one.
Mm-hmm.
The moment they did that, again I was overpowered and I collapsed. So the other people also had nothing to do but to get out of the home.
Because they were praying, the saints now were praying
Yes,
against that vehicle.
Yes. So they had to drive out of there. And now they knew that this is beyond what we know. So now they continue to pray for me.
They're casting out various artists, various musicians that are finding it. They're speaking through you, and then one gets cast out, and then another one comes.
Another one is cast out.
That one gets cast out.
Yes.
And another one comes.
And that one is cast out. Now, the second last artist to get out of me, actually they were so stubborn. Casting out a human spirit is more difficult than an evil spirit, because evil spirits have tasted the wrath of God. You mention the name Jesus, they don't bargain, they just get out. Mm-hmm. But a human spirit is so stubborn. That's why they want to use human spirits.
Right, because the name of Jesus is not hostile against the human.
Yes.
It's hostile against the demon.
True. So now I start seeing things that I had been limited to seeing. I see this musician who took my soul to hell. I see him going where my soul had been caged. And he says, the time has come, we are in trouble. He warns the brother. He says, I told you not to mess with this girl. And she's from a Christian family. She's going to disorganize our things. And you insisted. Now see. And they are talking, and the voice is being heard here in the living room. And I'm not talking.
And by what means can this conversation be heard?
They can hear it through my body, and I'm not talking.
Your soul is caged now. This is in hell. This is in a quadrant of hell where the souls
taken my soul.
Where those are living souls. Those are not the body. Their bodies have not died yet.
Yes. Remember in the beginning,
those are just
my
prisoners.
soul was in a glass in the beginning.
Yes.
Yes. So now
in a glass cage.
Yes.
What was the size of it? If you were to compare?
A small square. A soul can be compressed.
It can be reduced in size.
This soul can increase to your normal size,
right?
But it can be compressed. Satan cannot increase it beyond your normal size.
Okay, yeah.
But all he can do is to reduce, because that's what he has. He gives what he has. Mm-hmm. He cannot add.
Yeah.
It's only God who has authority over the soul and over the body. Mm-hmm. So they had caged my soul in a glass. Mm-hmm. And all this while I was serving the enemy, I was a slave. My soul had been caged.
Of course.
So now this musician is talking to his brother, because now they have sensed that they are in warfare and I'm about to be free. So he's telling the brother, I warned you on that day.
And they're having this conversation in the
hell.
Underworld.
But
hell.
Now it's being heard here where they're praying for me. And
where is that sound coming from? Is it coming like through?
They say that it was coming from my body.
From your body, basically.
Yes, because now my body was the point of contact there. Mm-hmm. And I'm not talking. They're just hearing now voices. Now, my brother, I told you, you're so big-headed. I told you not to get this girl because she's from a Christian family. Anything can happen that can disorganize us. I told you that they can pray for her and then our things get exposed. And you insisted, now see. Mm-hmm. And these people were like, okay. And then they are mentioning their names. So these people who are praying for me are now also shocked. They're like, wow, So they continue praying. They're like, we have to pray until we see the last demon
Get
get
out.